Good morning. It's Tuesday. It's the internet. It's movies. That means it could only be SJU. And Murrell's here.
Hello.
Danielle Radford's here.
Hello.
Spencer J. Gilbert's here.
Hey.
Many things on the internet about movies today. 1984. We're gonna talk a little bit about Charlie's Angels, because you know what? We don't enough, you guys. We don't talk about Charlie's Angels enough.
Thank you, Charlie.
Talking LeBron James and Dan. Get excited! We have a MoviePass update.
Oh, boy!
Yay!
We did it!
So first of all, let's just jump right in. This is via Variety, which again, I always want to call Viva Variety because I love Johnny Blue Jeans so much.
Oh my God, same.
Viva Variety. Wonder Woman has been pushed back. Warner Brothers moved Wonder Woman 1984 back 7 months from November 1st, 2019 to June 5th, 2020. Jeff Goldstein, Warner Brothers president of domestic distribution, said, "We had tremendous success releasing the first Wonder Woman film during the summer, so when we saw an opportunity to take advantage of the changing competitive landscape, we did. This move lands the film exactly where it belongs." Patty Jenkins is returning to direct. The film was originally dated on December 13th, 2019. It was moved forward to November 1st to avoid being a week ahead of Star Wars, so now it's being pushed back again to the summer. Chris Pine is back. Kristen Wiig joins as Cheetah, which I'm still completely perplexed and fascinated by.
I'm more perplexed by Chris Pine still.
Yeah,
if he
why?
comes just floating in on the parachute in 1980s. Hey! It's cold up there.
Or if he's a ghost.
Or if he's a ghost.
Yeah, Ghost. Oh, you could do a nice scene from the movie Ghost, which is also an 80s movie. Yeah.
It's a 90s movie.
I can't do the whole thing.
90s movie? Yeah, you're right.
It's an
I
early
apologize.
90s
Like
movie.
91.
Like, just on the cusp.
right, like right on the pump up the volume. Like, where does it belong? I don't know.
Delete your comments.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan Murrell, for saving my life. I guess the question here is, and Dan, I'll let you kick us off. Is,
Sure.
You know, what does that say about Warner Brothers' faith in this Wonder Woman sequel? That they're like, you know what,
I think it says little to nothing about their
Okay.
faith in the sequel. As I recall, it was already at an awkward release schedule where they would have just released another movie very shortly before it. So a lot of people were already saying, I don't know how it makes sense. Marvel didn't move. Marvel washed out a 2020 summer movie that was on their schedule last week. So now there's one less. They have one, I think, in May and then another one in November. So between May and November, you didn't have a major a DC or a Marvel film being released. He's right. Wonder Woman did very well in the summer. To me, this is sometimes when a movie gets pushed back, you're like with the X-Men movies, it's like, oh, something must be wrong. To me, this is just them looking at the schedule and saying, we were already in an awkward position. This gives us more time to do the movie. It takes advantage of a competitor leaving a big hole in the middle of the summer as far as the comic book genre, and they did what they do. This is a move that I think would have been made 10 years ago behind the scenes, and no one would have ever known. But the way that it goes now, you have to, for some reason, studios feel like they have to put all of their release dates out 2 years before the movie comes out. To me, this is, as far as like, does it say anything about the movie to me? No.
Okay, well, yeah, you know, and it could possibly change again. Like you said, these dates are in flux all the time now, and now they're total stories, which leads me, you guys, what DC movie are you looking forward to more? Untitled DC movie 2022 or Untitled DC movie 2023?
Oh, I gotta say 2023.
Yeah, 2022, actually.
Oh, really? See, for me, Protagonist in 2023 was way more exciting than Protagonist in 2022.
But 22's got the Joker in it.
That's true.
I'm sorry, we are getting breaking news. Untitled DC movie 2023 has been moved to 2025. Has been pushed back. I'm so sorry, you guys. I want to talk a little. Look, we've talked about it before, but Kristen Wiig and Chris Pine. Is he a ghost? Is he a man out of time? Is he the bad guy now?
Is he a clone?
Yeah.
Is it a flashback? You know, does it just start in the 80s and she's like, I remember the 19th.
I think we've
mall,
seen
right?
pictures of him in a mall.
Maybe Chris Pine was just at the mall, guys.
They just ran into him and was like, oh, well, while you're here.
This is so weird.
This is so weird.
And you're wearing a members only jacket. It's so strange.
He's just
It's
grabbing
so
the
perfect.
last Orange Julius in the country.
Yes.
That would be cool if he could play like a descendant of the original Chris Pine, much like Captain America only has the hots for offspring of his original love, like is it the niece?
It's a Carter or it's a non-starter. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you could have another. It's fine if it's a Pine, and he's just a couple generations removed, but very 80s.
I think we solved it. I think we 100% solved it. Does this one? I mean, this is sort of a dumb leading question. Does this Wonder Woman in the summer spot open as well or better than Wonder Woman in its initial summer spot? I mean, it was. Looking back, it's like, I mean, duh, but we didn't necessarily know that Wonder Woman was going to just roll through things like the Temple of Doom ball either.
I mean, I think it opens.
Sorry.
Oh, I think it opens bigger.
Yeah.
I think how well it does depends on how good the movie is after that initial opening.
I agree. The story with Wonder Woman the first time was it had a great opening, but it was how well it did in the subsequent weekends. Its staying power, the repeat business. I agree. I think this one opens bigger, and then if it's great, it's got every chance in the world of topping the success of the original.
Do you guys think Aquaman's performance will sort of change the sort of box office predictions and stories on this, or is Wonder Woman too much its own thing?
Wonder Woman's already its own thing. Wonder Woman is already the outlier in the DCEU as far as like that's the movie that everyone's just like, all right, there's the DCEU, which has its ups and downs, and I like this movie, I like that movie, but Wonder Woman, I feel like that it's kind of still its own thing to me.
Okay. Spencer, speaking of Aquaman, have you come around on seahorses yet? Underwater seahorse battles?
Seahorse battle.
Look,
seahorse
they're wearing me
battle.
down with their tiny little guppy arms, just flapping away at my resistance. So I'm told I should be really excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm only moderately excited for it, and I apologize.
That's fair. Breaking news, Spencer has apologized to you guys, so get off him. Taking Wonder Woman's spot, this is also Viva Variety, is the Charlie's Angels reboot. That's been pushed back 5 weeks into the Wonder Woman spot. This is not a weird cast, but just a kind of a fun, crazy cast. Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott, Ella Balinska will portray the film's three angels who work for a detective agency. Elizabeth Banks is directing and starring as, Variety says they're unseen Bosley. We see Bosley. That's the point of Bosley, is that he's the guy we see. We don't see Charlie.
Unless they're the same guy. He's just a ventriloquist.
Interesting take. Very interesting take.
Also, some breaking news I was reading on the way in is Terminator 6 is taking that weekend as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody jumped in.
Yep.
Really?
They're all driving
Everyone's just going to that exact same weekend?
Yep.
Really?
All right.
Those two.
Okay.
That's an interesting weekend
Happy
at the box
holidays.
office. Ooh, double feature.
Great.
That's going to be great for Terminator when a Charlie's Angels reboot just stomps it into the ground.
I love that Wonder Woman 1984 moved back, and so two films that seem like they belong in 1984. It's like, let's just get the nostalgia from 1984
right.
to fill in the spot. That's weird.
Is it? It's a weird. Captain Picard and Korat the Pursuer are both Bosleys?
Why are there so many Bosleys?
There's a lot of
Did they
Bosleys.
mean
Why do you know
Charlie?
Jaimin Hansu's character name? No one knows his character name in those
I'm a
movies.
big Pursuer fan. I'm a part of the Pursuer posse.
Congratulations.
I'm really excited about Captain Marvel. What can I
You
say?
and Tobey Maguire, right? No, that's different.
Different
Sorry.
posse.
Oh,
Completely
different
different
posse,
posse.
Different posse.
Yeah. Pursuer posse just walks around and goes, who? And then we do our secret
It's kind of
handshake.
the opposite of the Tobey Maguire.
Oh, I love how ungoogleable that's going to be for
It really
everyone.
is, yeah.
Comments,
Especially
sorry,
at work.
Woof.
the young Hollywood scene of the mid to late 1990s.
was certainly a thing.
Was certainly something.
Yep. Someone had a Bosley-related question.
Mine was, because I was wondering about the Bosleys. Is Bosley a code name? Are they a polyamorous throuple? Are they adopted siblings? How are there so many Bosleys?
There's a lot of Bosleys according to this story. I think Banks is. I don't know. Any of these people could be Bosley, and any of these people could be Charlie, depending on what this movie is. Depending on what this movie looks like.
Now I just have that Charlie's ad with the, the one that had the model singing.
Yeah.
The old one, Cindy Crawford. She
Yep.
had an ad for Charlie, and it's like her and little Richard, and she's singing, and it was the worst thing.
Whoa.
That is
Very cool.
Googleable at work.
What was
Google
that
that.
movie she did with a Baldwin?
Who?
Fair Game.
Fair Game.
Remember Fair Game?
Cindy Crawford?
Yeah.
The one where all of her acting was just her doing like this
Yeah.
for the entire movie,
It
because
was
that's how
good.
sassy looks.
You should watch Fair Game if you've never seen it.
No, you shouldn't.
You really should not.
I like bad movies, and I will not tell you to watch Fair Game.
So
Step
speaking
too far.
of bad and questionable movies, we all lived through the first Charlie's Angels
and Full
reboot.
Throttle.
Yeah, and Full Throttle, which McG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
that
Were they
McG?
both McGee's?
No, I don't
Both
think
movies?
I don't think I can't remember. Was the first?
I know the first one
Angels?
was definitely a McJoint. I don't know
Okay.
if the second one
No,
was
Full
also
Throttle.
a
JT
McJoint.
is saying something. They're
They're
both
both
McG.
McGs.
Okay. Both. I feel like Throttle was just more McG than maybe the other.
Yeah.
So as people who lived through that first original Charlie's Reboot era, because it was kind of a big deal when it came out, I want you guys, because again, we don't have nearly enough Charlie's Angels content on this show, and I'm tired of talking about superheroes. I want to hear what you guys would do with the Charlie's Angels reboot.
I'm tired of talking about superheroes, so we're gonna go to a more grounded, like
universe of
character-driven
of a disembodied
franchise
voice
like
that talks
Yeah.
to three ladies through speakers.
Yeah, and then they'd flip around on tanks and
Absolutely.
Okay, should I start?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll do Charlize Angels, and it's
Oh.
Charlize Theron as Charlie or Charlize,
I like it.
and her angels are just the cast of Magic Mike XXL. And it's still in character from that movie. They're just a bunch of male strippers that get thrown into terrorist incidents and have to defuse situations with sexy dancing. I'm seeing Kevin Nash as the Cameron Diaz, like adorkable one.
Yeah, definitely.
Bless you.
Snorts a lot.
Yeah,
Bless you for
I
this.
think Channing is Lucy Liu is like the badass. They're all playing against type a little bit.
Yeah.
And Joe
Manganiello?
Manganiello is Drew Barrymore.
Perfect.
Of course.
I think, no, very
I've
solid.
always thought of him as
And
Drew Barrymore.
Fluffy is also there.
Gabrielle Iglesias.
He should be.
Yeah.
Is he Bosley?
Is he Bosley?
No, he's just the fourth angel.
Oh,
I like
okay.
that. Yeah.
That's
I like
good.
so, I like this. So you're doing more of like there's almost like a Three Musketeers element where it's like there's four of them. Why?
Exactly. He's
Right.
D'Artagnan. And mind you, again, they are all Florida ex-male strippers, or also male strippers who have then male dancers, excuse me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who have
Thank
all,
God.
who have all taken on
Trying to get
side
themselves
gigs.
through medical school, buddy.
Yeah,
I like that.
Start that furniture
Yep.
shop.
Shop.
Yeah, that's my pitch.
Solid. Dan?
Here's the deal. I got up at 7:30 to compete in a trivia contest.
That's right.
You did.
So I'm gonna throw my weight behind Charlie's Angels.
I like that.
I think that I will add a pitch of, if you're going to include Gabrielle Iglesias, that it'd be a great marketing thing. You have the three guys do the iconic pose, and then you have a record scratch, and then you see the silhouette of Uncle Fluffy. Is that it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Jumping in there.
I like that.
And that's you've sold. How many tickets have you sold just with that?
At least
Four.
17. Yeah.
4 to 17
Okay. Yeah,
tickets.
4 to 17
are
tickets.
sold. So
least.
that's I will
We're
just
the low
build
high on that distribution thing.
I'll be Spencer's marketing
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
consultant for Charlize Angels.
Sells itself.
Yeah, it
I like
really,
it.
really does.
And as much as I support all digital content, that's really early for a trivia show, David.
It really, really is. Yeah. I had to be here, Joe.
I know.
Gotta get up pretty early in the morning to beat Dan Murrell.
You never know.
You never know, though.
I can't disclose what happened. I seriously
I mean,
can't.
that's early. I mean, that's so early.
It is early.
I actually want to see a movie like this done with like the tiniest budget and just a lot of like B stars. I want Michael Jai White to be the bad guy.
Ooh, yes, please.
Yeah, I want the girl that my angels are the girl that played Colleen Wing from Daredevil, Katie Lotz from the DC Arrowverse, 'cause
Yes.
she's real stunty, and then Zazie Beetz. Those are my angels.
Ooh, those are good angels.
You do something real stunty at the beginning where your established angels are like big names, and you wipe them out right at the beginning for the shock value.
Yeah.
So
Like, what was that movie? The Other Guys?
yeah, yeah.
When it was The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson? Or
Yeah,
is that
this
Reno
is-
911?
No, that both with The Rock actually.
Right?
Both of them killed
Wait,
The
were
Rock
they both
off right
The
at
Rock?
the beginning.
Were they
Yeah.
both The Rock?
That Reno 911, the movie, has one of my favorite movie openings where they do the huge. There's a bomb in the building and The Rock shows up and it's this huge cop movie thing, and then Robert Ben Garant wakes up and looks over at Thomas Lennon in the car, and he's like, man, I just had the weirdest dream. And Thomas Lennon just goes, you're driving, man. One of my favorite things in the world. But yeah, it's like Tandy Newton and Jennifer Lopez and somebody else, and they all just get murked at the beginning.
Great.
Ooh, I like it.
And you make it for $30,000. That's my weird grindhouse pulpy Charlie's Angels. Danielle?
So I went dark with my Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
I want to
gritty.
see a dark, gritty, realistic Charlie's Angels, and I also wanted to take on a very important issue, which is ageism. So my Charlie's Angels are Cate Blanchett, Helen Mirren, and Angela Bassett.
I like it.
And their Charlie is Letitia Wright.
Okay.
And their Bosley is Gina Rodriguez. And so much of it is them kind of being that, like, I feel like you guys are getting too old for this and then being like, no, we're not, and then murdering dudes.
Helen Mirren does a cartwheel.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Is there a cutaway and it's clearly not Helen Mirren?
Yeah, I think I'm just doing the Expendables at this point, but I'm going to
it's
decide to
fine.
be okay with it.
I'm super down with
I think you just pitched Red. An all-female
I
Red.
did just mention all-female
Yeah.
Red, and you
There's
would
nothing
see
wrong
it.
with that.
I'm
I would
into
see
it.
that.
Yeah, would absolutely go see that.
Yo.
Bruce Willis moping around.
Look, sometimes you got to get rid of Bruce Willis to make some stuff
You do.
happen.
Was that the movie where he was marketing it? And he was just like in London, they're just like, oh, I thought the movie was really good. It's like, oh yeah, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you did?
he has a
You
little-
did? Really? Yeah.
little
Oh yeah, no, it was
tantrum.
great. I loved doing the movie. Yeah, no, it was great. It's like, what are you doing?
You leave the Gilmore Girl out of this.
You invited me.
You had a bad day. Speaking of reboots, this is via Bloody Disgusting. LeBron James
So weird.
and his company Spring Hill Entertainment are currently in talks with Vertigo Entertainment to produce a reboot of Friday the 13th. LeBron, man. That's not a, that's a LeBron, that's the guy he's going to reboot. LeBron's a huge horror fan. Last year he dressed up as Pennywise to prove his street cred.
There he is
Nope,
again.
not Pennywise.
Why
There we
did that
go.
look like an old? Wait, is that LeBron James?
That's LeBron James.
They have the same
Oh
hair.
my
Pennywise.
God. That
No,
is-
LeBron got his fixed.
I actually hate that.
That is horrifying. When you imagine how tall and imposing he is, and
Yeah.
then that. Oh my God.
That takes all the goodwill love I had for him in the movie Trainwreck and just makes that go away.
Ooh, but Pennywise waist snatched though.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Look at how snatched that waist is.
He also put out Friday the 13th themed sneakers. So his
Wow, back in 2013. Look at that.
Wow.
the OG fan.
Jack
Yeah.
Segan is not happy about that.
No.
No, yeah. Let's Nick Daku. What?
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 Whoa,
Yeah.
there's some weird stuff in
Yeah,
those
there
comments.
is.
I was gonna read
Maybe we
something
should've
and then
cropped those.
I just can bring it back.
Friday the 13th.
Ooh, some terrible stuff in there.
Jason Voorhees is one of my favorites. Still don't understand how he caught people running and he just walked though.
Back in 2010. Okay, he has a
yeah.
long record of being a Friday the 13th guy.
I had no idea he was a Jason stan.
Good
But
old,
he is.
Good old LeBron.
Yeah.
I like LeBron.
Dig this. I do
Yeah,
too.
he's a big dorky dad who's
Yeah, he
the
is.
best basketball player ever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and he's said that he wants to be the first billionaire athlete. So producing is clearly a step to that.
Yeah, this is how you do it. And starring in Space Jam.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be interesting.
That will be.
That is more so because of the director, who's the guy that made Random Acts of Flyness, and it's one of the more bizarre television shows. Like incredible.
You
but it's like
introduced me to that, which
yeah, it's
I'm-
like video art. Like you don't know what you're gonna see scene to scene. So I'm very excited for him to take on the Looney
I
Tunes.
mean, it's a natural step. Like the guy that directed Space Jam just directed the Looney Tunes
in a commercial.
commercial. So I mean, yeah, I think it makes sense. It's the slightly more artistic, natural progression of that. Yeah, I love LeBron James. I watch Trainwreck regularly only because of him and Bill Hader. Like,
Regular.
not regular.
How does he have a
Regular.
schedule?
I enjoy that movie because of LeBron. He's
good. He's
the
funny.
reason
Yep.
to the reason to tune into that movie for me. He makes me laugh. What projects would you guys back? He's doing his dream money because he has LeBron money. What projects would you back if you had LeBron money?
I got two.
Okay,
Breaking 3.
Okay.
solid. Okay.
Electric Boogaloo 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, obviously, a sequel to The Last Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
The Last Diss Dragon.
how has that not been rebooted?
People have thought there's been rumors at one point. There was a rumor that Samuel L. Jackson was attached to play Shogun of Harlem. But yeah, I want that. I want it. I want that reboot. That's one of those reboots where it's like, look, I already know the other one is preserved in amber for me. I can go back and watch it however I want. I want to see y'all mess this up.
So you want to finance it so that it falls on its face?
Yes.
All right. Cool.
No, because I think it would be like you just bring in people who are really passionate but not good at making movies to see if they can capture that magic. We can still get some of that same old Berry Gordy love all over it.
I get it.
Or, you know what? Timbaland. We can have Timbaland do some stuff for it. Or Raekwon. Or there are a lot of people, the RZA, that could do the music because the music is such an important component.
I've heard that Timbaland will only do your project if Magoo gets a small role. Like they come as a package.
No deal.
Well, then he's
thank you.
He's out. This will be a Magoo-free zone. Spencer, what's your LeBron project?
Gosh, they're pretty similar to LeBron. I think I just keep making Space Jams. Like it'd be like the NBA 2K. Like every NBA season, I'd make another Space Jam.
That. Do they ever branch into different sports? Or would that be ridiculous?
That'd be too insane. No,
Yeah.
I would not sanction that.
I get that. That's
Gahoolery.
fair. You would not sanction that Gahoolery?
Oh, I'd make a big budget, a low budget reboot to the Legends of Gahul.
Solid. A series with all practical puppets.
All practical
All
Gahoolery.
practical, wow.
Yeah.
No,
I
all
agree.
real owls.
Real owls. Wow. High body count.
all
Work on
magical
that
owls.
movie.
Okay, then I will be producing. Have you ever seen Roar? The documentary about the movie that the guy shot with all the lions?
Oh my God.
Oh, I just heard that.
I'm guessing it ends badly.
Oh, it ends very poorly. There's so many lions, and there's
So many
just look it up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I am going to produce the documentary of your owl movie that will end equally as bad. I think.
Yeah.
That definitely ends with
covered in beak marks.
just Tobey Maguire just getting wiped out by owls.
Yes.
He's just in the movie. I've decided
Yeah, he
that
was.
if that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
Dan, what's your LeBron project?
I was watching one of the fine films in this franchise just last night due to the Halloween season. America needs Ernest. America's missed Ernest.
Hasn't he passed?
Jim Varney has
Yes.
passed on, unfortunately, which is why I don't know if LeBron plays Ernest. I think this is a multimedia opportunity
Whoa.
to launch a TV show called America's Next Ernest. We do a top to tails talent search. Ernest, Ernest needs to come back.
Look,
Yeah.
maybe Ernest is like the Slayer, where into every generation and Ernest is
born.
born.
Laurel is born.
Yeah.
Yes.
New-
We need Ernest, son of Ernest. I don't know.
Ernest saves America.
Ernest saves America. It writes itself.
I dig
As so
this.
many of the Ernest movies also did. I miss Ernest. I really, really do. He was scared stupid.
Yeah, he went.
He
He had
went to
Christmas.
camp.
He went to camp.
He
had
went
a last ride.
He went to Africa, which I'm going to go ahead and assume was highly problematic. I have not seen it in many decades, but I'm guessing maybe that's one that we don't port over from Ernest. He went to jail. He saved Christmas, and now it's time for him to save America.
Yeah.
Solid.
Vote Ernest.
Vote
Ernest
Ernest
voting.
in this voting thing.
Thank you for coming to my TED
Ernest
Talk.
LeBron.
We
2020.
watched, and this is another. I think this is just doomed for the fire, like your last try. We watched The Apostle on Netflix the other night. Stars Dan Stevens from Legion, and it's fine. But we realized watching it that Dan Stevens would make a mighty good Ash if they ever did a new
Pokemon?
Evil Dead.
Oh.
No, well, actually, okay, yeah, I'm veering now. Sharp left from Evil Dead to Pokemon. But I just want to. I'm gonna.
Got to catch them all.
I'm gonna finance a new Evil Dead with Ash, and it's Dan Stevens.
All right.
He just there's a scene where they do some Ash level paint stuff on him, and just the faces that he's making are just you're about to put a chainsaw on your hand level away from saying groovy to a camera and killing a deadite. So it'll be a huge waste of money, and everyone will hate it. But you know what? That's why it's LeBron level of money, and not I need to do something smart with this money.
Yes.
Speaking of doing something smart with your money.
Oh God. Oh, that segue.
MoviePass, this is via Deadline. Helios and Matheson Analytics, the name you think of when you think entertainment options
Yes.
in the United States of America, has announced plans to spin off its long troubled ticketing, film financing, and production unit, MoviePass, which again sounds like a club that you started in elementary school when you're like, we're going to do everything, you guys. They're spinning it into its own separate, publicly traded company.
And it's out of business.
And it's gone. And it's gone. The spin, and I'll get through this quickly because by the time we get through it, they're probably gone. You're right. The spin, it's been given preliminary approval by the board of directors, aims to create a vertically integrated company focused on film production, marketing, and exhibition company. Helios and Matheson is a data analytics firm with holdings beyond entertainment. The issue is, I think people, this is my impression of Ted Farnsworth now, chairman and CEO of Helios and Matheson. The spin would distinguish between the company's movie assets and data properties like Zone Technologies, which specializes in navigation apps and global security. Now, since we acquired control of MoviePass in December 2017, synergy is one thing, but largely we've been synonymous with MoviePass in the public's eyes, which is problematic in creating opportunities in the larger sphere when we can pick and choose where we win. It leads us to believe that our shareholders and market perception might benefit from separating our movie-related assets from the rest of our company.
I love it.
AKA,
this has been a disaster. Everyone thinks our company is the most incompetent company in the world.
Yeah,
we're not going down with the ship.
We've got to get this turd away from us as quickly as possible.
This comes days after the New York State Attorney General's office announced that they were investigating the company.
What a coincidence!
Whoa!
Well, those guys, they're not with us. They're
it's its own completely different, easily sellable, detachable thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally hitting the ejection seat on the bat pod.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
You had a perfectly good analytics company that these crazy people, this music man came in the door and was like,
sold you Monorail.
I got that. I did the whole song and dance, and they very briefly took that stock way up
We
high.
rewrite the Monorail song with MoviePass.
MoviePass. Want to go to the movies once a day?
MoviePass.
Check the times or you're going to pay.
MoviePass.
They had a perfectly good company. Sounded a lot like Scoots McGee for a reason.
I miss that guy.
He's around.
And yes, I know the Monorail is based on the Music Man original song. Whatever.
They had a perfectly good company that they took into the stratosphere and then it crashed down to Earth. And I imagine that the only way they hope to salvage this company is to just kick MoviePass out the door. I just pulled my hamstring and get it as far away from them as possible.
A long time.
I've been up a while.
Yeah.
It's like shooting an escape. It's like shooting the warp. It's like shooting and exploding warp core out of the Enterprise. If you don't get that thing out of there, the whole ship is going to go up in flames. So you just want to jettison it into space.
I wish data companies would stop trying to be sexy. Just do data, man.
Exactly.
I recently hosted this thing, and so much of it were people talking about, like, we're going to make numbers sexy. We're going to make data exciting. That's not your job. None of these things need to be sexy. Just analyze your analytics, my dudes. Like, I don't need you to produce movies. I don't need you to do MoviePass. Just, like, take data and then make a graph.
You make spreadsheets. That's all I need them to be.
Spreadsheet, the movie.
Goodbye, MoviePass.
Well, we'll see. You know, I think that the lifeline that they could be extended now that they're a separate thing is being acquired by an AMC or by another theater chain who just wants the customers and like the tech is there?
Oh, AMC buying them just straight up puts everyone in jester costumes and has them like dance around in the office lobby.
Yeah, but like you can get it for pennies, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's worth anything.
Maybe I'll buy it.
Yeah, maybe
You could.
let's Kickstarter. Let's buy MoviePass.
Yeah, this is not LeBron money, I think. This is
Disclosure, we don't know what we're doing.
yeah.
Less so than that.
Well, neither did they, so.
Yeah, hey, there you go. You'll notice no difference.
We're gonna close out today with a new segment I've been working on for a long time for SJU. I've been putting a lot of thought into this, and it's called "Hey, what are you watching?" And it's a segment where I ask you that question, and you tell me. And
Does it begin
can
now?
you roll the graphic?
Good.
Perfect. Thank you.
We're still working some kinks out of that graphic, but so far so good. Hey Dan,
Yes.
What you watching?
what you watching?
Well, we've been watching. We do 31 days of Halloween every year. This is the first year we'd actually stayed on track. watching a movie every night. So again, not the best. If you're gonna schedule the first round of a movie trivia contest, I cannot emphasize enough not to do it. It's at 7:30.
Sure.
That's just the necessities of the game sometimes. However, we just watched, as I mentioned, Ernest Scared Stupid, and this is how the flow of this goes. Immediately preceding Ernest Scared Stupid, we watched Rosemary's Baby. So
yeah.
We kind of go like this.
Yeah.
It's a mix of prestige and trash. Halloween 4 and New Nightmare. They all coexist.
What is it called when you do the expensive shot and the cheap beer together?
Right.
That's a thing. Yeah.
Boilermaker.
College. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of it. A lot of just that's been a big part of some research. Doing a lot of research, watching a lot of movies that I have not seen, just to see them. I've been compiling some lists of catching up. I've been neglecting Netflix very much. There's so many things on Netflix that I have not watched. Daredevil and you name it.
Yeah,
so
Daredevil's fun so far.
Yeah.
We finished Haunting of Hill House, which is worth watching.
No one likes the ending, right?
Some people, I think so the pitch of the movie is This Is Us, but also a haunted house. And I think your opinion on the ending...
I cannot be less sold on a pitch.
Never.
It's Scary This Is Us. Scary This Is Us. And the ending, the ending depends on what side of that pitch you fall on. If you're like, I love This Is Us, you'll feel one way about the ending. And if you're like, I want Scary Haunted House, you'll feel another way about the ending. But it's really awesome TV. The 6th episode is one of the best episodes of television I've seen probably this year. The cast is great. And then we started something last night, which I think is worth checking out. Spencer, you turned me onto this.
Yes.
It's called Documental. Mm-hmm. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a Japanese...
Game show?
Sort of.
Well,
and basically it's like a veteran... comedian in Japan gathers like 10 comics he really respects, and they all put 1,000,000 yen in a hat, and at the end of they all just get locked in a room together, and at the end of 6 hours, the one who hasn't laughed wins
10 million.
Wins all that money.
If you laugh, you're out of the room, and it's 10 comedians locked together, like trying to keep their cool while also making the other, and sometimes teaming up against other ones to make them laugh.
I feel like any LA comic could win that game.
Well,
because we just do not laugh at our. We don't support each other's comedy.
Fair enough.
And also, so many of us aren't funny.
Yeah. You're allowed to bring props. You're allowed to bring bags of props that they will like just walk off and then come back just dressed in a complete different costume. Yeah, dressed as a baby.
It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
I would recommend you skip the first episode.
Yeah, or just skip the first 40 minutes of it.
Yeah, because it's just introducing these comics who you, unless you're a big Japanese comedy fan, don't know who any of them are. Yeah. So it traffics a lot on like, oh, that guy. But
yeah, just skip the Fireworks Factory. If you're skipping frame by frame on Amazon, when they're all sitting at a table together, that's the Fireworks Factory. Skip there. Worth watching.
How many episodes is this?
It's 4 episodes. So
they're hour long.
Well, then I guess it's 6 episodes because they just put the 6 hours over like one season. There's 2 of them.
I'm a little bit with Danielle. Like, I live in LA. I feel like I've been in a lot of tables with a bunch of comedians just sitting there trying to make each other laugh.
And just mean dogging each other.
Maybe I can just relate to it.
I'll tell you this: there's a lot of money at stake, and they've had time to prepare. This isn't just riffing.
It's like a professional. They're approaching it like a professional battle.
Yes.
Like it's really very strange. Hey Danielle.
Hello.
What are you watching?
I am watching a show. I forget what it's on Hulu or Netflix or one of those. The show is called Lords and Ladles, and it's about it's a cooking show.
I'm out of the game.
It's a cooking show where they take 3 chefs and they take them to like an old school like 17th century or 18th century like castle or manor. It's an Irish show, and when you get there, like they give you a tool, and depending on what tool they give you, that's going to be your job for servicing dinner, and they have to make old school recipes.
Ooh, that's fun.
It's
like in that old school,
it's
like
pheasant pie.
Fantastic.
All right.
Okay.
It's so good.
Lords and Ladles.
Lords and Ladles.
I'm in.
Sweet.
Plus just the name.
Yeah, that's a solid name. Hey Spencer.
Yeah.
What are you watching?
I watched a film on Netflix called Before the Night Falls or Before the Dark Falls?
We've fallen for this before. This is a fake movie.
This is not Night Falls.
This is not Night Falls.
Double check me on that, Max. It's a Indonesian martial arts movie with the eco.
This is the one that
Before the
DJ
Night
was talking about.
Before the Night Comes?
Before the Night Comes. Yeah, Night Comes. The sequel to Night Falls. Yeah. So this is.
And then Night Rises.
Yeah. The Raid 2, but gorier, I'd say.
Cool.
It's like real grindhousey because I didn't know this actually, and our Indonesian fans, correct me if I'm wrong, everyone in the country owns a machete.
Oh, Max is ready. Let's give Max his moment. What's it called, Max?
The Night Comes for Us.
The Night
I was way off.
We were all very off.
Wow.
Thanks Max.
Specifically for us.
The Night Comes for Us. I knew that the title didn't quite match what I was watching at all anyway. So it's an insane martial arts movie, insanely violent, but insanely cool if you like The Raid and The Raid 2, because these guys are... I'm going to use the word insane again. They're insane. They are killing people with so many different things and in so many different ways. And it's just a balls to the wall bloodbath.
Awesome.
And I can't recommend it highly enough if that's the sort of thing you're into. The violence is so over the top that I'm like, I don't love violence, but when people are just like, whipping people with their own intestines, that doesn't happen. But something like that would happen.
You're like, okay, I'm in.
Okay.
Okay, so Ernest, strange to the death comedy competition. People cooking in castles, and
The Night Comes for Us.
And The Night Comes for Us. That's a variety of weird things that you guys can be checking out. But you can also watch these things. Charting with Dan went up yesterday. I'm so sorry you got stuck with Spencer and I.
That's all right. I love it. It was fun.
There was a comment that I love that was like, focusing on how much the show changes depending on who is co-hosting with you. When it's you and Roth, it's industry insiders talking about box office and how it affects things. When it's you and Lon, it's you guys riffing about underseen movies. And then when it was the three of us, it was a guy trying to finish an undergrad or a master's student finishing his research paper while his roommates get high and bother him.
That's the vibe we try to create.
That's pretty solid. We've also got Halloween reviews up. The Halloween Honest trailer dropped today. Lots of Halloween stuff. And this week, movie fights, all horror. It's going to be a great episode. Emma Fyfe, Cameron Rice, and Clark Wolf, all horror aficionados.
That's the horror panel you'd want.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a solid one. So we'll see you guys there for that for Thursday. And we'll see you tomorrow on SJU. Bye, guys.